Quiet. 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 Quiet, 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 quiet. Quiet! With Dr. Ken Phillips is on the air! Long live obscenely high oil prices! Run out of the crowd! Oh God! I just dreamt I saw Dennis Pizarro! Quiet! Quiet, 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 quiet. Good evening, and welcome to Quiet. I'm Dr. Ken Phillips. For those of you expecting to see Tim Jones tonight, I have some news. He won't be here tonight because he is currently recording an album with ex-Crinkle Matt Favazza. I think we have the album artwork. Can we put that on the screen? This is an exclusive. As you can see, the name of the new band, this new band is You Drum Good, and the name of the album is Not Pals. Or is it the other way around? Anyway, expect lots of drums on this offering. I believe Matt and Tim simultaneously share the same drum kit, with Tim playing bass drum and hi-hat, and Matt playing crash cymbal, floor tom, and snare, each with one drumstick. I think they decided to record that way because they, quote, wanted to save money. Tim also plays a used vibra-slap that someone gave him. Gross. Quite. Well, on to tonight's show. Tonight we're going to do something a little different. Something that is a departure from our discussions of the hot topics of the day. Because of the continuing stream of bad economic news these days, and specifically the collapse in oil prices, we're going to lighten the mood tonight. No, we won't be playing a version of, quote, Are You Smarter Than an Alderman? In run-throughs, that was determined to be a foregone conclusion, and there was no contest. Since most aldermen, as you know, are borderline retarded. Quite. So tonight instead, we will be featuring a couple of stand-up comedians in the Chicago area. My first guest has been doing stand-up for 6 months now and has just produced his first show at The Spot in Chicago. The Spot. Is that a bar? I hope so, and I hope I get a free old granddad the next time I go there. Please welcome, without any further ado, Mr. Joe Tisi. Joe?
Hello, how's it going, guys? To the two people that are in the studio with me. My name is Joe Tisi, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself at first. I am Sicilian and Norwegian, so my heritage cultural contribution to the world were the Vikings and the Mafia, which does not make sense why I still get beat up all the time. If anything, my raping and pillaging skills are lackluster at best. I'm also not a very good racketeer whatsoever. I'm in my mid-20s, and I'm at the age where all my friends are starting to get married, and I went to a lot of weddings last month, and I started to think, well, I would like to learn more about the traditions of the wedding. So I thought about it, started reading about rings, and historically, a wedding ring denoted that it was property, like you owned that woman. The wife was your property. And that's why I can never get married, because I don't treat my property that well. Ultimately, I once owned a car, and I never changed its oil. It's kind of like getting married is like owning a house. The first few years, the lawn looks great. And then time goes by, and you get tired of mowing that lawn. And ultimately, you want to move into a cuter, younger apartment. Something with less of a commitment than a mortgage. I went to my dad's wedding last month. That was really interesting because I was estranged with my father. We recently reconnected, and I was invited to his wedding. And at the wedding, everybody was just like, Joe, you're so much like your father. Joe, you're just like your dad. And I'm like, no, not at all. You see, he's a recovering alcoholic, and I'm just functioning. There's a huge difference there.
Quite.
Oh, man. Addiction isn't funny. No, there's nothing really that funny about addiction. I just found out that my best friend is using heroin on a regular basis. And it kind of baffled me, because how does your dog get his paws on heroin? Really? I mean, dogs do not work and do not have money, so how is this dog affording drugs that I cannot afford? Yeah. I'm an animal lover. I've never been convicted of it, but I do love animals.
Quite.
And, I love them so much, in fact, that I hit a deer the other day when I was driving. And at first I was upset because of the damage done to my car. I was like, well, whatever. My car is totally dented and ruined. And then I got started thinking how can one animal or being be so late that he cannot wait a split second longer to cross the road? And then I started thinking, well, maybe I'm a jerk. Maybe he was late to the office that day. Maybe he'd been late all week. This deer had been consistently late, and it's there's the other deer at the office are like, Johnson's late again, yesterday he smelled like booze. Now he's coming in late again. And then I'm an even bigger jerk because those other deer at the office are going to figure out that he was killed. So the next day they're going to be like, oh man, I was totally talking bad about Johnson and now he's dead. Yeah, he was married and his wife's pregnant. But then I started thinking, well, maybe the deer was on his way to the hospital because his first son was going to be born. And I just totally ruined that. So not only did I make that doe a widow, I also made a probable juvenile delinquent because that deer is going to grow up in a fatherless home now. Yeah, and, he'll be on Oprah Winfrey in 30 years, and they'll ask him why he went on the human-killing rampage. He said, because some human killed my father. So I'm sitting there with this deer carcass, and I start to push it off the road, and a cop pulls up, and he gets out, and I'm like, oh, sorry, officer, I'm just going to push this deer out of the way and call the proper people to pick it up. The officer just takes off his sunglasses, and a single tear is running down his eye. He says, you bastard, that deer was only 1 day away from retirement. Because apparently animals have jobs. I consider myself retired. That's what I call unemployed because it sounds better than unemployed. So I just say I'm currently retired. Yeah, I had a former job as a telemarketer because I have been getting a lot of, random jobs here and there lately. And it was hard calling people. Cold calling people really stinks. I called this old woman once, and I'm like, hi, my name's Joe. I'm calling from the window place. I was just interested in if you would like to do any future home renovations. And she said, sorry, but my husband just got laid off. It's tough times. And I said, oh, well, is your dog available? I hear that the canine community is coming across disposable income. Thank you very much. I'm Joe Tisi.
Thank you, Joe. Come on over here. Let's hear it for Joe, everyone. Excellent. Joe Tisi, come on down. Take that chair and sit on it. That's just a little Fonzie reference. You know who Fonzie is, don't you, Joe?
Oh, I'm familiar with his work.
Yeah.
Henry Winkler is a hero of mine.
Is he? Excellent. Yeah. He's a big man, isn't he, these days? Or is he?
He does it here and there.
Yeah.
I think Adam Sandler is giving him a career again.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent hunk. Is that what they call them? Hunks? Is that what they call when you do a hunk of comedy? Sounds like a hunk of cheese, but I thought that's what they called it. But well, tell me about yourself, Joe. Are you originally from Chicago?
I am. I grew up in the suburbs.
Oh, excellent.
And then I lived on the West Coast for a while, and after that I decided, I was afraid of earthquakes.
Oh, yeah, so it's San Francisco or L.A. or something?
No, Northern Oregon.
Oh, excellent, Oregon.
I was a big Goonies fan.
A Goonies fan,
yes.
Yeah. Oregon, they're kind of hippy-dippy out there, aren't they? They're like the wacky tobacco out in Oregon. They're kind of progressive, as you will.
They are. It's extremes, because you're either very liberal or you're very redneck.
Oh, okay.
Or you're on meth.
Oh, the meth is... I don't really know what that is, but I've heard it's something bad. We're talking about a guy who brought a magic book to work.
Oh yeah,
that's
when I was selling windows. I was on my break, and there was a guy on his lunch break reading a book about magic tricks.
Oh, okay.
He was in his late 40s, and he was reading a book about magic tricks and how to perform them.
Oh, quite. So
the thing I thought to myself was, sir, you're really not hiding your pedophilia that well. I mean,
touché.
I have a book about how to make balloon animals, but I don't usually bring that out in public places.
Yeah, rightly so. Well, thank you, Joe. I think we're ready for our next act, our next funny man. My next guest doesn't know Ogden from Elston and is making his first stand-up comedy appearance. Please welcome, from the Northern Burbs, Eric Anderson. Eric?
It appears sure accident's been here because there's not a soul in the place. Thank you. Hold it down there. Actually, I'm not a stand-up. I'm jobless like most people who are here tonight at 10 o'clock on a Sunday. And I answered a Craigslist ad for a comedian. So, naturally, I would expect that it was a solicitation for prostitution. However, I'm wrong, and so I've jotted a few notes down, and I'll go through with this. So let's see here. What do I have here? Oh, impressions, yes. Well, yes, comedians, they do impressions, don't they? I'd like to do an impression of myself as a teenager. I'm in the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom, Mom. And now an impression of my mom. As Kirk Douglas. Eric, get out of the bathroom! What are you doing in the bathroom? So goddamn long! Okay, I'll be right out. Thank you. It's the only impression I can do, sorry. Let's see. Oh, I should do, okay. Joe is a very observant and a timely comedian. I'd like to make it more popular to be untimely and very unobservant. So let's see. Do you notice all those people wearing green on St. Patrick's Day? I didn't. Let's see. Speaking of green, how about that David Carradine? Hey, that's timely. Yeah, he's gonna turn my brown balls blue. Oh, no, green balls. No, they're green after. Well, I think when they found them, they were green. They started blue, then they were probably reddish, and then they went to the green later. I think you can see it on the internet. Let's see. Oh, untimeliness. Yeah. What about those Druids? What were they thinking about with Stonehenge? You know, you're in England, and they didn't even have a roof. What's that? It wasn't very timely, was it? Okay. Stand up. Why does stand up have to be stand up? Why can't it be sit down? I don't have a chair. That's why I can't be sit down. But if I was sitting down, I would do a sit down joke. I'd say, two guys are in a bar. One of them says, "Hey, I think your stool is crooked." And the guy says, "How can you tell?" He says, "Oh, you didn't flush." Thank you. Stool, crooked. Sorry. I'll get a Venn diagram. I'll draw it for you. So last week, I was running late for a softball game, and just had to hurry up. I had the carbo load, so I grabbed a bowl of spaghetti, threw it in the microwave, and it's like, oh man, I got to unload before I get out. So I'm sitting there in my downstairs bathroom, eating a bowl of spaghetti, sitting on the pot, and I think, that's pretty funny. I don't have a punchline, but I just thought it was funny. Then I went 0 for 3, so I won't be doing that again. See, and Joe's also talking a little bit about the dogs and their various characteristics. And so I noticed that when you get a dog, you take on the dog's characteristics. So I looked. I found a dog that could lick itself while it was standing up. It didn't work. Let's see. What else do I have here? Oh, let's see. I think there should be a law against men with slim bodies, long hair, and firm buttocks from standing at a bar not facing out. That's just me, though. And I also found proof of intelligent design because I can reach my crotch. That's right. And let's see. I used to be very anal retentive. I've gotten help from a psychologist and took some medications, and now I'm just wondering what to do with my giant collection of anuses. Thanks, Sir Ken. Thanks, appreciate that.
Quite.
I think I'm slaying him here in this big empty room here. And one thing that really kills me is that they always say, "Oh, everybody has a gift. Everyone has a special gift. God gave you a special gift." Somebody there. Oh, but you can sing so sweetly. So it's like, I wonder, why did God give me my gift? Why, he's like, oh yes, I'm going to gift you. I can fart like nobody's business. It's like I'm the Pavarotti of the poop hole. It's like, thanks God. Geez, I'm not making much money with this. So I can make a movie about me and my dreams coming true.
Oh boy.
Let's see, what else do I do? Let's see. Yeah, like I said, I had a lot of time to make notes on this, but I've always enjoyed Fuddruckers. Have you been to Fuddruckers? You know the great hamburger place. You get to pile on all your stuff. I love Fuddruckers, and I admire their name because it's kind of, you feel kind of dirty when you say Fuddruckers. You know, it's like, oh, I'm going to Fuddruckers. You can go to Fuddruckers. So actually, yeah. So I opened up a couple places. I wanted to have something similar to that. You know, it's like, oh, that name is good. They've been around for a long time. Not exactly popular, but so I opened up I had a couple ideas to open up a couple stores. So I have a women's outerwear store. I'm going to call it Chunt Slickers. I thought that would be a good one. And then right next door, there's the bridal boutique called the Byman Husters. And what was my last one? Oh yeah, Look Out American Girl. Pretty soon, every little girl's going to want a Faggoty Man doll. So it's going to be a real special year for me. I'm hoping to open up a few businesses once this lucrative stand-up routine works for me. And I'm talking to empty chairs over here, and I'm talking to Ken there, who's getting a proctological exam right now. In fact, yes, he looks good with it.
Quite.
Yes. Let me see, what else do I have? Oh, yes. The Life is Full of Surprises. Yes, life is so full of surprises. I can read. It's hell getting old. It's like with my glasses. I would be able to read the cue cards that I didn't make if I only had them. But it's hell getting old. It's just like, you're getting old when you have to interrupt your porn surfing to check on a special remedy for toenail fungus. What else don't I like about getting old? There's something here. As you can see, I'm well planned. Did I tell you I have ADD? Did I tell you? I probably didn't need to tell you that, did I? It's a hell of a thing. There's so many things going on in your head at any given time that you can't finish what. And the other thing a comedian has to do is they need a prop. And being my first time, I had to bring props. It's like Bob Hope had the golf club, so I brought the golf club, and I was just ready to. I don't have the right golf club. And I had the half hockey stick. I thought that would be good, but that's Hey, how you do now? I'm coming here to play a little bit of no. What else do I have? Oh, and to deal with hecklers. I think with hecklers, it's like you need a witty comeback sometimes, and it's like if you don't have a witty comeback, you should always be packing, and so you have that. This is always a good prop. You can always use one of these. I think Ken, this is where you sleep, isn't it?
Oh boy. I think you have 30 seconds left.
Oh, yeah. And finally, I'd like to end with one more thing. Life is so full of surprises. As a child, I never dreamed that I would one day be able to go into my bathroom and find out that I had the very special type of hemorrhoid called the thromboid hemorrhoid, and crawl up on my sink and my toilet and take a flashlight and be looking back at myself. And it's one of those things that as a child you dream of. And then when something like that comes true, I think it makes it a very, very special time. And I thought I would share that with you for all you younger people in the crowd, because children are our future, unfortunately. So, Ken, could I?
Absolutely, Eric.
No,
come
Ken?
on down. After
sure?
describing that fun Saturday night, come on down to the chair. Eric Anderson, ladies and germs.
You couldn't tell I haven't done this before.
Eric, grab a seat. Sit on it. I don't know if you know that's a little Fonzie reference.
No,
Eric, do you know who Fonzie is?
No, I don't.
No? Okay.
No.
Do you know who Potsy is?
No.
Well,
I know
maybe
pot.
maybe Joe can tell you. Joe was a little quicker on the uptake on that one. Eric, have you had any problems with the digital switchover?
What's that?
I think it's something to do with your TV. I'm hoping some people are having problems with the digital switchover after witnessing this program. I've always heard about the dark side of comedy. That people think comedians are happy, but really there's a dark side.
You happy, Joe?
Oh, I'm ecstatic.
I mean, it's 10 o'clock on a Sunday night, and you guys are sitting next to me. How much better could it get? You should be ecstatic.
Chicks in Playboy always say they want the funny guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't.
How's that working out for you?
Well, I don't know. I'm not funny, so I wouldn't know. How about you two?
Ho!
Whoa. Hey-o.
Hi-yo. Hey, I think it's a good time to, it's a good time to take some calls. There's been people patiently waiting. Of course, the show's called Quite Talented. We're looking for any comments on these two fine gentlemen, any of the comedy you've heard tonight, or just calls on comedy in general. Yes, caller, we have a caller. What's your name, sir?
My name is Alejandro Cisneros Quinteros de Rosa Camacho.
Maybe you could do like we were talking before and just abbreviate that. Maybe you call yourself DYI.
Dr. Ken Phillips, first I want to say that you're a credit to the medical community. I remember once when you were doing proctology, instead of putting one hand on my shoulder, you made sure that you put both of them on there.
If you've been watching this program, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm on the board of directors at Clark Oil.
No, I'm saying, you were courteous and everything. When I felt something cold, I asked you if it was your class ring, but instead it turned out to be your watch.
Oh! Come on down to 322 South Green. We got a chair waiting for you. That was my joke. Do we have another caller?
Hello?
Yes.
So is this like a joke?
It sounds like the joke may be on you. It's a joke that you actually got through.
I tried calling like a whole bunch of times, and this is the only time I got through.
Yes. Well, consider it your lucky day. Now, step up to the plate and say something intelligent, mister.
Yes. Are you there?
How are you handling the digital switchover?
I think he's handling it great. He took the class.
He sounds like he's got saran wrap or tinfoil on his head.
Yeah.
I heard some kind of crazy noises. Do we have another caller?
Give the calendar back to your wife.
Comedy tonight. Comedy tomorrow. Let those fingers do the walking and let's hear you talking.
Oh, you are like the greatest puppet ever.
There's no puppet here, sir.
I saw the puppet. He's having a mini seizure with the pedophile and Jerry Seinfeld's co-host sitting over there. This is the greatest show ever.
I think you were watching Not Pals. That comes on earlier tonight.
No, I can't.
Do we have another caller?
Yes, I was wondering if you'd ever consider dating Miss Piggy.
Wow. He already did her.
Yeah. She was a swine. I don't know why. People seem to call. There's this private joke where they call me a puppet, which I don't understand. I'm as much red-blooded American as the next guy, which would be you, Eric, and then Joe. But they continue to call me a puppet. I just don't understand.
I think it's because you're controlled by the political machine of Chicago.
That would be Mayor Daley.
Yes.
Actually,
You're
yeah.
his puppet.
Who's
right,
pulling his
exactly.
strings? That's what I want to know. His brother, his nephew?
His wife, mostly.
Oh, yeah. Do we have another caller?
Hello?
Yes?
Hi. I'm a first-time caller. I like your show.
Oh, thank you very
I
much.
was laughing so hard.
Are you sure you're watching this program?
Yeah.
Did you just turn it
I
on?
was laughing. I like the comedian in blue. He was really funny.
Oh, was he?
He's part Norwegian and what is it, Italian, and he's not good at the patient intelligence. He was lackluster.
Oh, look at that.
That was funny.
Joe, you might want to get her number.
I know. Wow. I am single,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He's cute too.
Oh,
Joe,
wow.
Are you appearing somewhere soon where you can put a plug in?
Actually, July 10th, I will be at the Edge Comedy Club.
Oh.
And
Okay.
that's located at the Chicago Center for the Performing Arts. Come
Okay.
out.
What's
Good
your
show.
name, miss?
Leslie.
Leslie. I think you should hightail it down there, Leslie. You might have just made a new Facebook friend.
I am on the internet.
Well, thank you, Leslie. That was the most intelligent call we've gotten all night. I appreciate it. It renews my faith in humanity. Well, not really, but somebody liked you, Joe. That's good.
It's better than nothing.
I think I'm a little old, so some of these things were over my head, but Leslie liked you. That's excellent. Let's see if Eric has a lovely lady, call him up. See what happens here.
Yes. For alimony.
Oh boy. I did some comedy back in Tijuana when I was penniless with a three-legged pot-bellied pig in a burro, and it was hard stuff. It was
Well, it's physical comedy. That's much more.
yeah, it was a school of hard knocks. So I appreciate you young pups kind of keeping it real, as they say.
I appreciate being called a young pup.
Tijuana really is the proving ground for
Is it
comedy.
really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Really,
think
it's like it was that, and then you went to Carson, or then you went to Ladder, Leno, and now Coleman.
Oh, okay.
So like Tijuana, I would kill to get on a donkey show.
Maybe I was before my time.
Yeah. I mean, really, if you can knock them dead.
It didn't lead me anywhere, but yes, something. Do we have another caller?
A question about yes.
Yes. Would you direct your question to the guy in the white or the guy in the blue?
The blue.
Okay. You're up, Joe. What's your question, ma'am?
Have you ever got any jokes from like off TV? Like
No.
other than at live or anything?
No, that's the cardinal sin of comedy. You don't want to rip anybody off. It's hard because like there's original jokes, but premises are pretty much, you know, like there is a premise. You can't really be, you know, you can't, like dating. Like, of course you're going to talk about dating, but you need to do it originally. I don't take much of what I see on TV. Most of the stuff I do is about making fun of myself and like random things that happen to me. And
So you just make up stuff? So you just make, do your own stuff?
Yeah, this is completely original stuff. This is from my twisted mind. Yeah.
This is sometimes it's hard when you try to make a crowd laugh and you really don't have anything in your head. You're just trying to make up something.
Oh, this is all, I write it all before. I mean, I'm not going out there cutting dry without anything. I mean,
that would be me.
Yeah. I mean, I like to maintain a level of professional and alcoholism.
Because you will embarrass yourself if you do that.
Hey, you know, you get over it if you like. I've bombed. I'm cool. You feel bad for a couple days, but you know, it's like that's you know why there are things like drugs.
It's tough out there being a comedian. A lot of times you're waiting for your next meal, and you know, until you take, it's kind of like being unemployed, is it not?
Yeah, it's weird because it's mostly just you work at night, so during the day I pretty much watch TV.
Okay.
You know, hang out. I've had a lot of jobs. I've had about 4 or 5 different jobs.
Yeah. Tell me about
in the past like 3 months. So that was cool.
Like short order cook or?
Yeah, you know, everything under the sun. I worked at a gift shop. I worked in a bar. I sold windows.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's.
I
sold windows in the winter in Chicago, so that probably wasn't the best career move.
Yeah, that sounds tough.
People don't want to really replace windows in the winter. And they actually laid me off, and because they said, well, we don't have enough work. I said, well, I have a bag full of rocks. We can make work happen, sir. Like, you don't have to lay me off.
That's enterprising. That's
I know, like, I am an entrepreneur.
Yes. All right, that's all we have time for. Thank you for tuning in. With the digital switchover and everything, we're glad you could find us. Hope you learned something about comedy. And we want to thank both Joe Motisi. Oh, God! Quiet! Quiet! With Dr. Ken Phillips is on the air! Long live obscenely high oil prices! We have another caller! Oh, God! I just dreamt I saw Dennis Pizarro. Quiet! Quiet!
Hello?
Hello, is that you again? 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 No, but, no.